guys, this guy here from Y.C.G, your casual gamer. Time to finally finish our Season 3 together. So we have our winning combination now. We know that if I put in the wrong combination, it's going to kill me, and we're going to have to restart the puzzle. Now, and we also have a reset possibility for our combination. So air, water, fire, and earth. So air's first. What did I say? So water, and fire, and earth. Alright, so now if you have all these combinations down and everything should work well, when you're going to get to the door, now we're going to use everything we've learned so far in all the seasons together to make this last bit. And voila. So that the control comes back and you're ready to go on. But that's it. So now we would be done this season. So stay tuned. Alright, so now that we have the losing combination condition and also the reset combination condition, I already had set it up that if both over here would be equal to each other, then the winning combination would be right here. So you guys, if you guys been following so far, you could have finished this with your knowledge if you knew how. And I found that the best way for me to, since we already saw pretty much how to do this like pretty easily, let's do a mix of everything. So I choose to go with the event dispatcher. So something that we learned. So I'm going to add one over here. I'm going to call it Endlevel sequence or Endlevel. That's it. I'm going to bring it in. So I find the event dispatcher is the best way to give information to do a custom event call from any kind of blueprint to the level blueprint. So it's the best bridge of communication between the two. So by doing so, now any level I would be in, if I find a way to do that call when there's a blueprint in, then I can link this event to link this call to a custom event inside my level blueprint. So you guys should know this if you've seen my episode on the event dispatcher. So let's move on. So now that I have the call over here, that's all you have to do over here. The BP checkpoint system is finished. You don't need to touch this anymore. Now everything is going to happen in the main level, the level blueprint, which is going to be, in our case, the level blueprint of the 2-3. So I'm going to go in there and we're going to continue on. So just make sure to have this selected. We're going to go inside over here. And now I have all the code over here right now, but we're just going to go and make our own little thing. I'm going to keep it as reference because I'm pretty tired today. I just want to make sure I don't make any mistake. So I'm going to create a reference of this. So now what we have to do, oh, I added this bit of code. I forgot to do it in the last episode when we added the music. So for the trigger volume that's over here, the one that triggers, so you guys should know it if you've been following this this season. So if you're going for the trigger event that's over here, so jump to event over here. I added when the sound, the music comes in, I changed it into a variable because when you finish a level, you want to be able to turn off the music. So that's my way of doing it. Now there's compiling errors. It's because I started deleting stuff so we can move around. Now, the best way I find to do this for the event dispatcher, now that I have this, I'm going to do a bind event to end level. I think I called it bind event to end level. So by doing this, as soon as the on call in my, I should have kept this open. So I'm going to go over here. Control B to get right into it. So as soon as this is being called, it's going to fire the event that's hooked up to this. And you can see that it's looking for an event over here. So I'm going to make a custom event. And you're going to see now why my episode on event dispatcher, why do I do a binding event to bind my event in the first place so that I can call it from anywhere. So instead over here, I'm going to call it and level 2. I just want to make sure I don't call it the same thing as the other. And I'm going to put those two together. So now I need to find a way to call this because this is going to be called if this is bind. So if I wanted to, I could bring this like this to my event begin play. My event begin play is going to go fire up and it's going to fire up this. But then imagine if you had like 4 of these all over the place. And yes, you can try to keep them close by to make your event happen over here, but it's not very clean. Like you see, I have one down there, I have one here. If I start hooking those up everywhere, you're going to see those red wires going everywhere, and it's not very clean, and it's not very. I don't find it professional, because it's very hard for me, for anyone after, to read your code when they come in, unless it's only you. And even so, don't touch your code for a month, and you're gonna come back and you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? How do? It's gonna take you like 5 to 10 minutes just to figure out where you were. So mind you, you should always keep it clean. And the best way to keep it clean is like I did over here, bind this event X. So what I did is I have another custom event, so I can just grab this one since we already did it. So basically what I did is I just created a new custom event, and I just called it bind event X. And that's what you could just do. I put it here. So this event, so for this to work, this has to be bind. The binding has to happen first. So I put the binding over here and event begin play. So this is going to be fired up. So I do bind event X like this. We don't need this anymore. And then from here, I know that it's going to call this, and then this event is going to be now binded. And since it's going to be binded, as soon as I have the right combination, the winning combination over here, you win, this is going to be is going to call this one over here. So that would be your end event. And right there, you can customize it as much as you want. So what do I want to happen? So I'm getting over here, and we have those two doors in front of me. So I brought in these two sounds effect, and these are to be working as the door sound. The sounds are going to be in the description below, like always. And basically what I did is I just went up, I did this door sound, I made a cue of it. I just added the moderator, just just like I do all the time. There's no crazy things. I just did the basic modulator, modulator setting. I didn't change the settings. That's all it is for the sound cue, and then I just drag them in the scene, just like that, and they become as soon as this. So now, if you want to have a reference to this one, now we're going with the attenuation. So for the attenuation, because I want the sound to originate from there, and I want the player to persist to persuade, have this information from the distance. So I'm gonna have an override attenuation, and I got these settings over here that you can pause and copy. I really didn't touch anything else. I just did the override attenuation. We are still in 4-17, so mind you, some settings might not be at the same place for you guys, but they are still there, even in the further engine version for now. So 200 and 114 like this. And I think I also put it less loud. No, same sound. Same sound. That's it. It's linear. Now, and that's it. I just added this for the both sound over here. Because after that, I can just alt drag a copy and just bring it over here, just like so. And now that we have our two sounds, we're ready to play with the doors. So for the doors to open, there was two ways to make the movement. First off, make sure to have those two movable. Make sure to have them on movable for the section A. So the first way I would have went is you could have done a move 2 or like rotation 2, but we already did that. So what could we do with the new things that we learned? We learned how to do the sequencer in this season. So why not make a sequence? It's so much easier, right? So from here, I can just do, let it compile. From here, cinematic, I'm gonna add a new level sequence. Go inside here, call it, I bring it to sequencer, you bring it where you need to. Level 2, finish, door. Just to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. And I go like this, save it. And now, you guys remember this here over here is very simple. I have the door selected. I can grab both door, add a track, add current selection. They're gonna be right away in. I want to make sure that they have a transform key right away to where they are. So scale and everything, just to make sure that they know this is it. And after that, it's just you just play around with this. So I already made a sequence. I already made one just to make sure, because I wanted to make a little bit of a like, you see the door opens, and then at the end they do this little motion just to show there's like a recoil to the recoil. So sorry, my bad English. The recoil, so that when they finish, it makes like more natural effect. They don't just open and then that's it. So, and it's nothing big, but I just wanted to have this effect. So to make this, it's very simple. I just let's jump back to this one over here, save it. So now we do it for the first one. So you can put the auto key on, which is this over here, and the snapping. I like to use this. And I think I used what about 50. It's 30 frame per second. So if I go up to 50, it's about a second and a half, a second and two-third, 1.6 seconds. So that's not bad. So let's go over here and I'm going to grab this door. I'm going to do the rotation and I'm just going to bring it over here. So let's say 100, 100, 100 over here. As soon as it reaches 100, then I move a bit forward and I want to have also, I want to have that kind of recoil. So it's going to come back for like 5 and then it's going to go back for another 5. That's it. And you're done with door number 8 and number 1. And then you come to this side and then you do the same thing. You bring this one, I said what it was, 100. Then over here, I bring it back 5 and then maybe a little less. You can just grab the point and bring it, snap it with this one. There we go. And then from here, we're going to make it back to 1. And now let's see what it does, what it looks like. So we're going to go over here and play. It goes. And you see it's a little bit too fast. So from here, it's really just fine tuning it. So you can choose to have them more separated, or maybe the first one is going to be close. Let's see what it does. Let's try again. 1, 2. See, that's not bad. I could play around with it, and that's what I did with the first one, so that it looks more smooth. Like if I jump back to the first one, you're gonna see that it's more like thought through. Like I go, it does about the same thing. So I'm okay with that. So I just go here. I have my sequence, and I can just save it, and we're done. That's the sequence over here. We're ready to build our code. So might as well find a way to close this. Close this. Now to where the hell did it go? So we have the sequence over here. What is that? New sequence. So that should be the one. Last door open sequence. Call it like this. Yeah, I have another one over here, but I don't need that one anymore. I know it's referred to, so I'm just gonna do this is done. And door open is going to be the new one, so I'm going to go back inside my level because we're rebuilding the code together. So the first thing I want to happen is, let's say I'm going to have a reference to this. Where is it? I thought I was selected on it. Sequence, door. Where is it? Where is it so far? Is that the one? Oh, it's called level 2 finish door. Oops. I hope I didn't delete anything important here. Alright, let's just drag this one in then. Where is it? Finish. No, that's the... Okay, so I deleted the new one I did. Let's put this there. Thank you. Now having it selected, let's go inside here. Make a reference. So we're going to do a play sequence. Sure. Can't see it. Play sequencer. Thank you. It's so much easier in the further engine also. Like I can't wait to be done that episode so that we can jump to 4-25. I think 4-26 is there now. Also, Unreal Engine 5 is coming out soon. So all my videos are going to be no more. They're not going to be good anymore. I'm going to have to redo everything for season 5. That's hell. Okay, so then we got over here, we have activate 1, 2. So these are the sound effects. So I'm just going to do that. So we went to grab the 2 sounds. No, I didn't grab them yet. So let's grab this one and this one. Go inside the little blueprint. Right click. Make a new reference. And then activate. I don't know why it's called activate. Also, when you create your sounds, make sure that inside your scene that the auto activate is not ticked off. It's going to be ticked off by default. Make sure to turn it off at all time. Sometimes it might be useful, but in the most time you're gonna want to take this off. I always put the off for the auto activate. So I'm gonna let these two happen. So you want the sound effects to go first. Let's copy this. Just connect the second one over here. I believe they can be next to each other. Sometimes the sound effects they don't trigger if they're next to one another. So be mindful. It might not work. Not both sounds are gonna go through. But at the same time, since it's pretty much in front of us, we could have had just one sound effect and just put it in the middle. It would have worked too. It's just when you want to be precise, you might want to have the sounds like this, and it makes a better effect for the player's experience after. But it's really up to you at this point. How you want to do it is up to you. Now we got this. The sequence is going to play. There's going to be a short delay. I'm just going to grab it here. So I'm going to do a delay. 0 0.5. So I know that it sounds a bit lazy what I'm doing right now, but it's pretty much like we were done. We were done everything. Like I have over here the fade out. So the new BMG that we did over here, we did the new background music. I'm just gonna grab it in, make it fade out. You're gonna understand at the end of this episode why I'm so tired today, and there's a good reason behind it. I've been working on something. I'm going to show you guys a glimpse at the end, maybe if I can. So fade out duration. Let's put it to 5 seconds. Okay, so this is done. Now I want this sound effect to play. So the new music is play sound 2D, I think. And I have this sound effect that we have over here, which is the winning, which is somewhere here. Where is it? There it is. No, not this one. This one. So having it selected, you can jump back in here and just click on the little arrow over here, and then it's in. These tricks that I show you is very good also if you only have one monitor, because when I'm streaming for you guys, I have to have, I can't have both my screens on the one show. But eventually, my setup at home, I always have two screens. So I have one on my right, one on my left, and that's pretty much. If you're making games, you need to have two monitors. It's the best way. So what am I missing? So I have this over here. This gonna happen. Oh yeah, okay. So okay. So we have another little thing that I wanted to do. So the thing here I did is I disabled the when you go and check for the combination. We did that in the puzzle over here. So the first thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna be disabled. It's like you're being judged by the door. So you want to make sure that at the end you want to re-establish the control for the character. So to do so, the best way is to have a player controller back over here. So from the player controller or from anywhere, you can go enable input, and it's going to be there. And then you get player controller and get player character, like that. And then you put them together, put like this, bring it here. And then from here, we're going to have the last thing I wanted to do is put it on the screen. So how do I put it on the screen? We already have a UMG, and I went inside the blueprint. I think we disabled it at one point. So just make sure if you've been following along that inside the event graph over here on the event begin play, you add the user interface to the screen, because I think we disabled it at one point. So I just want to make sure. And from there, inside our user interface, we're going to add a winning. So to do that, I have it over here. I'm going to delete that. Not important anymore. And you know what? While we're at it, I think there's only one thing left and a delay. I'm just going to copy the delay here. So let's put a delay of like 1.8 second. The only thing that would be missing is to have the winning combination to be to say like, oh, you won. So let's do that quick. So how would we go about it? So that's a Umg animation right here. So all this over here is no good anymore. We don't need that. We did the activate sound effect, play this, fade out the background music, play the sound for the winning combination, and that's it. So what's left is the winning. So to do that, inside the, I have it over here, a custom event already. So just delete all this, compile and save, and let's make it. So from here, what I did is pretty easy. It's just a text. So again, it's just to show you guys how easy when you have an image of something you want to do, just try to do it. It's most of the time you just need to do it. It sucks, like it sucks to hear, but like there's no there's not always going to be like a perfect video just for the thing you want to learn. So most of the experience I got is by doing all kinds of different things online with the help of YouTubers, of course. You win. But eventually, when you get down to it and you want to create your own stuff, you need your imagination, and it's going to be your best friend over there. So you have to make sure to like just try stuff. Eventually, you're going to learn other stuff from other videos, and you're going to be like, oh shit, I didn't even know I could do that with that. And then you make more and more and more, and eventually you'll be like me one day maybe, and you'll be sharing it online with someone else to help the community. So we can all make awesome gaming experience for everybody. So save. So the Uwin is there now. I make a new animation. Uwin. I like this. We're gonna go here at frame 1 for the color and opacity. I think, yeah. Put it to 1. Actually, put it to 0. Enter. Make a key over here. It's gonna make it automatically on your track if you're selected on it. So right over here, and after, I don't know, 50 seconds? No, after half a second. No, after one. No, yeah. After a second, you put another key to 1 this time. And now this is where I don't understand why it does that. Make sure to click away from this after, because you might be setting up how it's going to look before the animation happens, and you want to make sure that it's not always going to be on screen. So now we're there. If I press back, what do I do? If I bring this back, I press play, it's there, and you win. And just the last thing missing is the anchor. Just set it to the center of your screen. That's why it's always going to be in the middle of the screen. And then in the graph, I made another custom event. Call it winning. You win event. And get rid of this. And then from here, we're just going to go get our new animation, which is over here. Get it. And play animation. So now we did all kinds of different videos just to be able to achieve one little task at the end, because it's a way to do it, and it's nice and fast too. When you know how to do it, it's pretty simple. One number of loop once, and that's it. So now inside over here, what's missing is the from here we need to do a cast since the user interface is there. So I'm going to do a cast to. Why is it stuck in first person character? Here I already had a get player character, and from here get user interface. I think that's how we called it. Get UI reference. That's how I called my variable. And if you're wondering which variable is this, is when we created the UI reference over here. I don't know how you called yours, but I called it UI reference, and this is why it's important to have it, because that's the one you need. You need to refer to the exact one that you created. And from here we're going to do the winning. You win event. And then just like that, we are done our code. So now if everything goes well, this would be the winning. You win and you are done. See, I can't even type anything today. You win and you can proceed. Yeah, let's say that's how it is. Compile and save. All right, so now we're done. So now let's test it out, see if it works. And play. So you guys already know the reset and the def condition. So now let's do the winning combination together, see if it works. So now we have earth, fire, earth, fire, wind, and water. Really gonna have to do something about that stamina system, never regenerated. And there you go. Oh, see? Two little things I forgot. The door closes afterward. What did I forget? You guys probably know if you've been following along. in the sequencer, when you create a new sequence on each track, you have to make sure to what? Because it makes sense, right? You have to bring everything to keep state when they're done their animation. So properties, keep state. If you don't do that, then after it's done the sequence, it's gonna reset back to the frame number 1. So just a nice little food for thought. You can bring this down and save this. And the second mistake I did was in the animation for our user interface. Well, the animation never goes back to fade. So let's make sure to bring it back here. I don't know. Here, let's do another key when it's at. Let's do another key over here and set, the other way we can set it. Let's put it to 1 over here. And then over here, we're going to do another key, and this one's going to be 0. So that way it doesn't stay in our face and it's going to go away. Also, since we're done now, make sure that when you're done your program, before you bring it all out, make sure to get rid of all your print strings, because this is not supposed to be in the final product. So what's the best is you should just put them on the side. They're really good for when you're building your code. So this over here, well, these two, I put them down, and you have to think about what was the other one. We are interacting with the blueprint. So every time we interact, close this, every time we interact from the character, there was a line trace that would come out. So you want to put that off too. So interaction is this one. It's not this one. Trace item, that's the one. So the trace item, we add a debug that was on. We know that everything works now, so we can just get rid of this. And I believe that was the last one. I might have forget one. If I do, we can fix it after. But you guys know, you guys have to make sure, like, all your combination, you win, you lose. You put all kinds of strings everywhere. Make sure to go around after and don't leave them in your game, because this is a good way to break your player's experience. As soon as they see that message, it's like an auto key that they just like, you messed up, dude. Okay, so let's see if I did or did not mess up. Okay, so first off, we have wind, fire, water. Like this. I believe this one is. Yeah, okay. Come up. You are done. Didn't show the combination at the top left, so we are totally finished. So hope you had fun, guys, with me, because I had a lot of blast. I got to learn a lot, and that's another reason I like to do these episodes, is because I learn so much on the subject when I do it. I actually come back to it because most of the time in my game progress, I forget stuff. I'm human too, I forget how I did my puzzle, and then I come back to it. I'm so happy that there's a video out there that I can get all this information, and I want to thank you guys for helping me get this done. I'm going to be taking a short break now, so like always when I finish the season. Probably around February I'm going to be back. End of February 2021. In the meanwhile, I will probably do the requests that I got along the way in Season 3. Season 3, yeah, I got a few requests from you guys, and I wanted to do them. So they're going to be part of Season 3. It's just not of the official Season 3 workflow. Now that we're done, let's see if there's anything waiting for us inside. A little sneak peek at Season 4 for you guys.